For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Matthew chapter 23 offers one of the most striking moments in Jesus' ministry as he confronts the hypocrisy of the religious leaders. Through a series of warnings and rebukes, he calls us to embrace humility, sincerity, and a heart aligned with God's will. Welcome to Gospel Unlocked. We're continuing our series on Matthew's Gospel, unlocking insights from each chapter. Let's turn the key and uncover the powerful truths in Matthew 23. Jesus begins by addressing the crowds and his disciples, warning them about the teachers of the law and the Pharisees. He says, "The teachers of the law and the Pharisees sit on Moses' seat. So you must be careful to do everything they tell you. But do not do what they do, for they do not practice what they preach." Jesus criticizes their legalism and their desire for recognition, saying they love titles like rabbi and places of honor. He reminds his followers, "The greatest among you will be your servant. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." This section challenges us to live with integrity, practicing what we preach and seeking humility instead of status. Jesus calls us to serve others and glorify God, not ourselves. Next, Jesus pronounces several woes on the Pharisees and teachers of the law, condemning their hypocrisy and spiritual blindness. First, he talks about blocking the kingdom of heaven when he says, "You shut the door on the kingdom of heaven in people's faces." Second, he speaks to misguided proselytizing. "You travel over land and sea to win a single convert, and when you have succeeded, you make them twice as much a child of hell as you are." Third, blind guides. They emphasize minor matters while neglecting justice, mercy, and faithfulness. 4. Outward cleanliness. You clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. Next, whitewashed tombs. You are like whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of the bones of the dead. Lastly, murdering God's prophets. They claim to honor the prophets, yet their actions prove otherwise. Through these woes, Jesus exposes the dangers of religious hypocrisy and calls for true devotion to God. Jesus reminds us that God sees beyond appearances. He desires hearts that are pure and lives that reflect His love and justice. Finally, Jesus ends this chapter with a heartfelt lament over Jerusalem. He says, "Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who kill the prophets and stone those sent to you, how often I have longed to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and you were not willing." This poignant moment reveals Jesus' deep love for his people despite their rejection of him. He warns that their house will be left desolate, foreshadowing the judgment that will come upon Jerusalem. Even in his rebuke, Jesus offers a glimpse of his compassionate heart, longing for repentance and reconciliation. Matthew chapter 23 is a sobering reminder of the dangers of hypocrisy and the call to live with humility, sincerity, and love for God. Through his warnings and lament, Jesus invites us to align our hearts with his and to serve others selflessly. Thank you for joining me on Gospel Unlocked, and I look forward to unlocking more of Matthew's Gospel with you as we continue this journey together.